What if I told you the apps we used to dream about, the ones that used to cost tens of thousands of dollars and take months to build, can now be created in minutes? What if I told you you could literally vibe your way into having your own functional app without hiring a single developer? My beautiful friend, grab your tea or coffee and whatever's keeping you grounded because today we're busting open a brand new trend that's shaking the whole tech world. It's called vibe coding. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Heart Led CEO, the podcast for women wellness entrepreneurs who are ready to build, scale, and automate their businesses without sacrificing their soul, sanity, or authenticity. I'm Anacani Walters, a nurse turned entrepreneur, military spouse, first time mama in my 40s, and a recovering burnout survivor who's making it a mission to help heart led women just like you create thriving businesses that really feel good, do good, and give you the freedom that we all deserve. Because here's the thing, you don't have to hustle harder to succeed. You don't have to drown in tech overwhelm or try to do everything alone. And I'm here to give you the strategies, automation tools, and mindset shifts that will help you step fully into that leader, CEO, and impact maker that you are meant to be. If you're ready to grow your business in a way that aligns with your values and your life, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, hello, my beautiful. I hope you are doing well wherever you are listening from. And I'm going to have to just tell you now that I have fantasized about creating my own app for probably like 10 to 15 years. Before I was an entrepreneur, when I was just nursing and doing all kinds of side jobs, I used to think and fantasize about creating my own app. And I one time like really went into it to the point where I don't even remember what I actually wanted to create an app for. But in my mind, I was like, I could do this. I can create my own app. So I looked into it. And let me just let you know that my dreams were quickly shut down. I looked at that price tag and immediately was like, nope, this is not going to be for me. Now, that was years ago. And I'm pretty sure that $10,000 was just the base of maybe hiring the developer or getting the idea, the prototype or whatever. And that was just not a reality for me. Like I was nursing, I wasn't I wasn't making crazy money. I was working actually like a few jobs just to have extra money to do stuff and invest and do whatever. And even a few years ago, when I really was starting to step into strategizing and really looking into my business and how I can improve it, I actually started looking back into it specifically for my paddleboard business, Fat Mermaids, and creating an app. Because in my mind, I was like, I could totally create an app for like an on demand something where I could do like sup lessons and whatnot and teach them on demand on a app of my own. It's going to be fantastic. Thinking that maybe things have changed. And even then, we're talking like maybe last year or year before that, it was still like $497 base, like starting to like, I don't even know what that included, but I'm pretty sure that I had to pay more to build it. And then that was to maintain it. So just ops usually fell like off limits. They felt off limits for probably all of us. And they were for just kind of like these valley bros in hoodies or people with a lot of money. And not for women like us juggling PCS moves and toddlers and clients and businesses, maybe on the side, or ones that we're starting to create, or ones that we are struggling to keep alive. And now, holy molies, I have created more than a dozen apps. And some of them literally took me less than 5 to 10 minutes. Now, it is not just a matter of the fact that I have built apps, but that they are functional. They're real. And guess what? They are mine. I can take any one of those and literally share them with anybody, and they could use it right now. That shift didn't happen because I suddenly became a coder. It happened because of this trend called vibe coding. So, what is vibe coding, Anacani? Let me break it down to you like I would over some cup of tea, and hopefully it's not too techy. I'm gonna try to bring it down to our level. So, vibe coding, if you're not really into AI, you probably have not heard the term, but I hear it a lot. And it's basically telling AI of what you want, and then AI writes the code for you instead of kind of the old version of that line by line programming. You talk to the tool, you describe literally what you want, how it should feel, and then the AI does the rest of the magic. It is literally to me like watching a magician, like magic. It's crazy. And the term came from an AI researcher, Andre Karpathy, which literally was earlier this year. This is hot off the press, y'all. A lot of people aren't even aware that you can do this. And his exact words were, I just see stuff, I say stuff, run stuff, copy and paste stuff, and it mostly works. And that's literally the vibe. Now, why this matters to us and why we need to pay attention and why I'm paying attention is that they are finding that a lot of AI assisted developers are working faster, up to 55% faster than those coding like the old school way, line by line, literally writing that code by hand. So it's improving productivity, it's enhancing like companies' abilities to do other things. It's literally like cutting their workday in half, and it's changing how we are building things. It's also being proven in like especially like um tech startups. They are reporting that as of like this year, they're starting to notice more companies are basically AI generative, meaning that people are building their businesses almost 100% with AI. Entire companies are literally being born this way. And big brands are also starting to test vibe coding more for in like internal projects, but that's just to let us know that people are anticipating that basically new businesses are going to be building apps and they are all going to be AI built within the next 3 years. So that doesn't mean that this is like some type of hype or trend that's not sticking. It isn't a toy. It is serious. This is the wave of the future. People want interactive. I did a previous episode about this. If you want to listen to it, I'll link it in the show notes about how if you're still counting on like an old version of like a PDF type of download for your freebie, that is not going to cut it as we continue to move on. Now, the flip side, because I want to make sure that we are keeping things in perspective. Vibe coding can be messy, and developers are calling it that tech depth is like the code, like the word that they're using. But the reason is like just how I told you the exact phrase, like the quote unquote of Karpathy of, how the term came of AI coding, where he's like, I just see stuff, say stuff, run stuff, copy, paste stuff, and most importantly, how does he end it? And it mostly works. And that's what I'm talking about. It's that the code often works, but it's not necessarily always clean or sustainable. And so that is why executives at large companies are saying that it's not production ready for big systems yet, meaning that you do not want to vibe code the software that runs something big like a hospital or an airplane. And if you rely on it, you might end up losing sight of how your tool actually works, which is why when I teach you how to create this, it's also about using it. You need to test it. If, for instance, I created the Align CO Ritual app, which is an app that's accessible to my monthly members for free. And then other people can, who have purchased a previous like course or workshop, get the chance to purchase it either for monthly or yearly. And it's an amazing app. But I built that app for myself, which means that I use it on a daily basis. And for the first like few months, all of the updates that I created within the app, because it started as something really basic. And then as I started to really use it every day, I started to notice where some of the things weren't working, or some of the places where it wasn't functional, some of the places where it wasn't accurate. And so you can't just rely on this magic to be completely perfect. Okay. The magic is in letting AI take over. It is in partnering with it, just like everything else, whether it's helping customize a chat GPT to basically sound and think like you so that you can use it as a co-pilot in your business, to creating an app that enhances whatever it is that you have as your own magic, and using vibe coding to create tools that serve you and your community, your clients, without needing it to be perfect. And this is where it gets fun for us because, as heart led women entrepreneurs, I don't feel like we don't need hospital level coding or like some high tech company coding. Even if you're listening and you're a military spouse, or you don't have a business at all, or you don't even know, like, you want to do something, but you have no idea what you're going to do, you can still create apps. We need apps that capture our wisdom, get our clients a touch point, save us from like sticky note overwhelm, organize our thoughts, organize our chaos. If you're a mom, like, there's so many use cases. So, like, for instance, if you're a birth worker and you're listening to this, imagine creating like a postpartum support app where it has like gentle reminders, daily affirmations, maybe some poses for post that are like appropriate for postpartum, for like light stretching, reminders to drink water. It would have links to like recipes to help with postpartum support and healing. An energy healer, if you're like, into Reiki or tarot or anything like that, think about building like a crystal of the day app with journaling prompts. Like, instead of them having the ability to necessarily have that specific crystal, they could almost draw like a tarot card, but of a crystal of the day. And then based on the card that it helps them pick for them, it gives them a journal prompt. For my water sports instructors, maybe having an app that offers a pre-lesson safety and confidence app. Guess what? Because you guys know that I'm a master stand-up paddleboard instructor, and I had an old PDF. It wasn't old. This was actually, I created it, I think, within the last year, I think, but it was called the Confidence Booster. And it was essentially my way of taking some of my genius for people, because I'm in Japan and I realize that there are people in the United States and stuff that are following me that have no ability to take a sup lesson with me. So how can I still help them so that they find success on the water, or they have the confidence to even book a sup lesson wherever it is that they live? So I built this amazing PDF, but I was seeing that not that many people were using it. So I casted my own magic on myself, and I literally took that PDF and created an interactive app. I created like several versions of it just to see what would like transpire. And let me tell you, it is fantastic. It's interactive, it's quick to use, it's super intuitive. It takes them through all of the mental check phases that I would normally take somebody through all the way up into the water. It's fantastic. It tells them like short little things of like reading the water, a little checklist of these are like the most basic non-negotiable things that you need to have before you go to your sup lesson. All kinds of cool stuff. So there's like super potential there. For my women wellness coaches, designing maybe like a cycle sync tracker for your private clients. If you're a military spouse mom, how about building like a PCS checklist app so that the move doesn't like wreck your nervous system every single 2 to 3 years? That, my friend, is vibe coding in action. It is not just code. That is not what this is. For me, it's about teaching you about and expanding your mind to open up to the possibility of what this could create for you in your life. And here's the most important part. Vibe coding at the root of it is about how you guide the AI. If you just toss in vague prompts, guess what? I've said it before, I'll say it again. Shit in, shit out. You get what you put into AI. So if your prompts are vague, guess what? Your results are going to be vague. And that is no difference when you're using it in a vibe coding scenario. However, when you vibe code, meaning you set the tone and the brand and the feel, and your prompt is as specific as it can be before it has the chance to actually execute, the AI doesn't just give you an app. It literally gives you your app, your fonts, your vibe, your brand soul, and your magic baked in. And that is like the main thing that I am seeing. People are out there, you can YouTube it. I'll tell you right now, the easiest way to go test this out is to go to your Canva account, go to the AI Canva, go to Code for Me, and then type in your idea and watch the magic happen. However, if you're using it from a business perspective, that is not necessarily the best way to go because what you're going to start to find out is that a lot of people are getting trapped in the overwhelm of trying to customize the app after it's giving you the base prototype. If you are as specific as to what you want to align with your customer journey, what you want it to do, what the overall goal is, all the things about who you are, how it should sound so that it feels an extension of you, that is like the setup to success. Otherwise, every time you go back in there, it is a struggle bus to continuously try to navigate having the continued conversation of explaining to AI your vision after it's already started to create based on its own version of your vision because you were too vague to begin with. And that's why I call this the bridge between survival mode and CEO mode. Because when you can finally offload some of the chaos into a truly functional system that feels like you can stop just surviving and really start leading it. Your day, your business, your schedule, your vision, your dreams. And so, what I want for you to do today, super simple. I want you to grab a piece of paper, a journal, a voice memo, and I want you to answer this one question. If I had an app in my pocket that could take one weight off my shoulders or solve one problem for my client or myself or my family, what would it be? Don't censor it, just write it down. That's like the idea of vibe coding is planting that seed and then having that opportunity to continue to customize it. And if you're ready to go deeper, you want to move past the brainstorming and you actually want to build it with a system to keep you from having to go into that chaos. Because what's happening is people are starting and then they're getting overwhelmed at trying to customize it because they weren't very upfront about what they really wanted. And then they're trying to go back and get AI to like get back on board with their version of it. They end up quitting. They're like, this isn't working, or they get frustrated with AI. And it is just that they weren't like, you needed to do that up front. And if you really are ready to build your first app with me, step by step, I am doing a live workshop. It's going to be online, 2 hours. And I'm going to show you how to build your first app using Canva. There is no code required. You do not have to have any experience with AI. You do not have to have any experience with Canva. And I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to handhold you how to vibe code so that it feels like super, super easy. And it's going to be an extension of you or your brand. And the link to register, it's super affordable. And it's going to be, you get the replay. You're going to get an exposure of the possibility. We're going to talk about the free option is what we're going to use to build it. And then I'm going to show you some examples of what I've built on some other platforms. And there's actually 2 other ways to do things similar to this. So I'm about to blow y'all's mind in this workshop. So let's recap really quick. Vibe coding means you do not need to know how to code. That's like the gist of it. You just need clarity and intention, and the courage to try is the most important part. It is not about perfection, okay? It is about the opportunity and opening yourself up to the possibility. And that, my friend, is where the power lies. The truth is, apps aren't just for the tech gurus anymore. They're for all of us. Wellness coaches, healers, water women, birth, workers, moms, military, members, people who are really ready to lead with heart and finally let tech really carry some of the load. Now, remember your action step. Write down the one problem that you would want to fix if you had an opportunity to create an app that fixes one problem or takes one thing off your shoulder. And then, if you're ready, grab the link in the show notes and join me on September 16th for my Canva AI app workshop. I'm super, super excited for you. Thank you for joining me. And I hope this gave you, I've cloaked you with my possibility scarf of what is actually out there waiting for you to play with. Now, as always, continue to be you, continue to be beautiful, continue leading from your heart, and I'll see you in the workshop or right back here for the next episode. All right, beautiful. That's a wrap on today's episode. But before you go, let's talk about something really important. You are not just another entrepreneur trying to figure things out alone. You are a wave leader, someone whose work is meant to create real impact, touch the lives of others, and make this world better. And I want you to know you don't have to do it alone. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to keep this energy going inside of my free Facebook community, Empower Her Biz Collective. It's where we take these conversations deeper with live trainings, tech walkthroughs, and real heart-centered support from other women wellness entrepreneurs who really get it. So if you're ready for community, clarity, and support as you build your own business with heart and ease, I'd invite you to come and join us. You'll find the link in the show notes. And hey, if you love today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review if you feel inclined, and share this with a fellow heart-led women entrepreneur so that we can build this movement together. Until next time, keep leading with heart.